Check it out, ladies. I'm going to show you how to use sets that you wouldn't necessarily put together to make this cute winter card. And we're going to do the inside and the envelope. Join me in the craft room and I'll show you how. For my card today, I'm going to be using Serene Garden, specifically the bird. And I'm going to make a cardinal out of it. I'm going to do some trimming so it's doesn't look so much like a dove. I'm going to be using colorful seasons, specifically the snowflakes. I have a piece of Shimmery White that's 1 3/4 by 4 1/2. I have a scrap of Real Red. I have a piece of Whisper White that's 4 by 5 1/4. My card base is Crumb Cake, and it is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. I have my envelope. From the seasonal layer thinlits, I'm using the large snowflake. From the garden scene framelits, I'm using the bird. I have a basic black cherry cobbler and pumpkin pie marker. I am using Memento Tuxedo Black ink, Balmy Blue ink, and Night of Navy ink. And I'm using some of our striped burlap trim that's in the holiday catalog. Let's get started. First thing I want to do is I want to take and I'm going to use this with the snowflake framelit, and I'm going to put this on here, and I'm going to cut this out of the bottom, but then I'm going to take and put it back in. So I've lined this up with the bottom, and I'm going to cut this out. I've got this cut out, and it doesn't matter that this piece is ripped because we're going to trim this off anyway. So what I'm going to take and do is I'm going to take and put dots of glue on the back of this and set it aside to dry. Okay, while that's drying, let's work on our cardinal. So I need my Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and I apologize for the shaking. Hopefully it's not too bad. I've tried to anchor my camera mount so that it won't shake as bad. All right. Now what I'm going to take and do is I'm going to take the framelit and cut this out. Now that I have my bird cut out, let's do a little doctoring so that this looks more like a cardinal. So what I'm going to take and do is I'm just going to cut around the tail, and then I'll take my black marker and I'll go back in and just add that piece in there so that it looks like it's supposed to be there. I'm going to take my pumpkin pie marker and I'm going to, doesn't show up pumpkin pie, but that's okay. Then I'm going to take my cherry cobbler marker, and I'm going to add some just some real quick lines. If you look at a cardinal, their wings are darker than the body. So by adding some in there, it gives it more of a cardinal look. So that's done. Now we're going to work on our card base. And this piece is going to go on here with the cardinal on top. And I may make that a little shorter. But I thought it would be fun to have some snowflakes in the background. Now, if you don't want to do the snowflakes, stamp the snowflakes, then take and use the Softly Falling embossing folder, and that would look just as nice also on there. So I'm going to stamp it first randomly using the Balmy Blue, and I'm going to leave that open. And then I'm going to take some Night of Navy and add some Night of Navy in there. So it has some, I might need to ink up my Night of Navy pad. Now I'm going to go to the big one, and I'm not going to do as many of those. I want to go to the Night of Navy. Yes, I think I definitely need to ink up my pad. All right, I'm going to stop there. And I'm going to pull out my re-inker and re-ink that before I forget. All right. Okay, so I've got that. Now it's time to put our card together. Before I put this down, I want to put some of this trim on here. So I'm going to cut some off, and then I'm going to use the tear and tape because I really want this to stick. This ribbon is thick, so it's got to be stuck down real good. Let me kind of get an idea. I'm just gonna cut these ends off just because I don't want to rip the piece. All right, let me see. Just doing a little figuring here. Sometimes I have to modify and adjust. I think that'll work right about there. So, knowing that, I'm going to put my tear and tape down. Use my pokey tool to get it started. If you burnish it real good, then you can get the backing off. I don't have any nails, I just cut them because they were really in bad shape being up at Jessica's and not having my rubber gloves to do dishes. When I go back, I'm going to make sure I take them. All right, I'm going to fold that back and fold that back. Then I'm going to take a piece of tear and tape and put it over top of this. And I'm going to make it a little longer than normal because I really want this to stick down. And it's going to be a challenge anyway because the ribbon is kind of thick. So I'll just add some tear and tape to the top so that it sticks down. Okay, before I can go further, I don't want to put this down. All right. I'm going to straighten this out so I get it on there straight. All right, I've got that. All right, I'm going to take this and I'm just going to fit it in there like so. But what I'm going to take and do is I'm going to cut the edges. I cut here and out, and here and out at an angle. Now I'm ready to put this down. So I want to take my backing off. Up. Didn't come all the way. There we go. All right, now I'm gonna add some glue to the back of this so that it sticks down. Oh, I need to make sure I get these spots down here. I may have put too much. It may ooze out. If it does, I'll let it dry and then use my handy dandy little there we go. And it didn't. All right, now, since this is a little longer than I needed it, I measured it when I did it, but sometimes after you measure, you just need more space. So, or you don't need as much, I should say, not that you need more. All right, so I've got my snowflake in there. This I'm gonna put on with dimensionals, so that it is popped up, and I need to find some more dimensionals. Here we go. One more down here. Got a mess everywhere. All right, and this is going to go right about there, so that it hangs off just slightly. What do you think? When I finished this and I went back, I realized cardinals have black around their eye. So I'm just gonna add some black so that it looks more like a cardinal. And the eye then doesn't show up. So what I'm gonna take and do is with my Wink of Stella, I'm going to put the eye in there so that it kind of shines. There you go. What do you think? And I did the inside in the envelope. I hope you've enjoyed my card today. If you do, give me a thumbs up. Feel free to share it. Have a great day.